This is an absolutely sensational place for racing. And in Senior X30, with 156 kilos of minimum weight on the MG yellow tyres, this is where the kings and queens of the sport reside. And there have been so many worthy champions over the years in Senior X30. They have come to battle in such incredible vice. Last year, Ellie Goldstein was crowned the champion on home soil. This year, it's going to be a lot harder for a Belgian to become champion, but there's definitely still a great fight. Ruben Moya of Spain, Kalai Atkins and Sam Shaw of Great Britain, and Eduardo Villa of Italy are the best placed to go for the title. And here's how it looks going into the final race of the season. Atkins leads the championship on 68 points. Ruben Moya is second on 67. Eduardo Villa and Sam Shaw are now tied in third for 52. All that hard work that Eduardo Villa had to do to catch them up, he's done it. He's now 16 off the win, as too is Sam Shaw, with Goldstein and Eichmanns matched for points in fifth. It really is coming down to the wire.
It really is, and that just shows that the races, whenever you're going to see an overtake between any of those 6 drivers, those points are going to be moving. It's going to be constantly moving all the way throughout that race, so it's going to be a very exciting final. Seriously looking forward to this one as the drivers get themselves lined up for it. But it has been an absolutely outstanding weekend for a couple of our drivers in this one. You've got to give it to Goldstein, who dominated over the course of Friday and Saturday with pole position in qualifying and the 5 race wins in the qualifying heats. The same for Eichmanns as well. He had 4 out of the 5 race wins, came second in his second qualifying heat of the weekend. And of course, the super heats earlier on today was something to be very excited about as well.
23 kilometers of racing around this circuit across 17 laps at Karting Genk on a day when everybody was expecting to have rain intervene. It did briefly at the start of the Mini X30 final, but certainly not enough to make the switch. And now what we're going to see is a very tough final. Why? Not just because we've got so many drivers battling for the win, but because they were all expecting to be on wets by this point. So those 2 sets of tyres have got to go even further into the weekend, and now they've got to do a 17-lap final. There is Ian Eichmanns, the pole position sitter for the Eichmanns Grand Prix racing team. He is 5th in the championship standings on 46 points coming into this one, but he has one objective and one objective alone. The Belgian flag needs to be on the top step of that podium, and Eichmanns wants to be the man to put it there. What a fabulous battle awaits us in the X30 senior final with a pair of Belgians on the front row of the grid. Ian Eichmanns versus Ellie Goldstein. They are also tied for 5th in the standings coming into this final race with a 4-man brawl for the title. Kalai Atkins, Ruben Moya, Eduardo Villa and Sam Shaw, with an outside chance for Goldstein and Eichmanns to do something spectacular here. And certainly for Eichmanns and Goldstein, their objective is clear. The Belgian flag needs to be on the top step of the podium. Both men believe they are in the best position to do so.
They certainly are, but then also you've got to think about the drivers behind Eduardo Villa and, of course, Finn McLaughlin. We could have an Italian flag or an Irish flag on that top spot as well. It is very, very close. And again, another driver who you've got to keep an eye on, Kalai Atkins as well. He is in a good spot here to try and come away with the championship and, of course, a race win on this one. Just needs to find that little bit of pace, and I reckon he will. And look at that fresh set of boots there on the right-hand side of the cards for Eduardo Villa. He's looking very strong there on that 3rd place spot.
Yes, indeed. Any driver that has been able to stretch their tyres through the race in previous battles through the qualifying heats and the super heat and can then put themselves into this final on a completely fresh set of tyres is going to have the advantage. But not everybody is going to have the luxury of that. Several drivers having to go for their second set a little earlier in the weekend just to put them on the grid for this final. So it's not clear-cut yet how it's going to play out. But the pride of Ireland in Senior X30, Finn McLaughlin for the VDK Racing team. What an opportunity it is for him. He may be 8th in the standings. The championship may be out of reach. But you know what? The victory at Karting Genk is not. He has a perfect opportunity from the 2nd row. If he gets the start he deserves and manages to pick off the 3 drivers in front, it'll be very hard for the VDK Racing driver on his Kart Republic to be fought for. There is Kalai Atkins, though, the championship leader coming into this race, having taken it away from Ruben Moya by just a single point. Kalai Atkins, the Jamaican talent, was the man who started races a few years ago from the back of every grid, fighting his way forward, trying to build up his strength and his stamina. He doesn't need to anymore. He is there at the front to battle for the title.
And just remember, Atkins, the last time he was in Belgium racing in the Miami Euro Series, he came from way down in the field to win the final. He knows how to do these races. And so does this man here, Ruben Moya. What a year he's had. He won the Winter Cup in February and he won here last year. Can he do it again on this one? And can he come away with the championship? That's going to be the biggest one here because he is only 1 point behind Atkins.
Ruben Moya is one of the few drivers in Miami Euro that has been here since the start. All the way back in 2016, he has raced here in every single campaign. He has never been a champion. This is his chance. Sam Shaw for Great Britain and the premium karting squad. The underdogs coming into this weekend. But boy, oh boy, has Sam Shaw taken those punches with pride and dexterity. He still has an outside shot, and he will not let this slip. On fresh tyres, he could just be the dark horse that snatches the title away from Atkins, Vila, and Ruben Moya. There's every chance of him making an appearance at the front end. Matthijs Meerschout for the BRS Racing team. He would dearly love to put the Belgian flag on the podium along with Eijkmans and Goldstein. If they could wash out the podium, that would be quite an amazing achievement for the Belgian racers here on home soil. And Meerschout has been super strong throughout this build-up, so he has a chance. And even on the 5th row of the starting grid, you've got Sam Balota of Belgium and Mieke Vos of the Netherlands, who have both been absolutely supreme through the course of this weekend. There is Sam Balota, such a prolific front runner in Miami X30 in the senior category. He's never far away from success. He always seems to have a little bit of bad luck, but hopefully today that's finally going to fade and he can take his rightful accolades. But there are so many drivers that are going to want to take this away from them just outside the top 10 as well. Heikki Kalteren, Hugo Besson, Alessandro Tudiska, who's been so consistent. Hamza Al-Fayez, the Jordanian, who is right up there in 14th on the grid. On his first appearance in the Miami Euro Series as a senior driver, and he is right up there for Victory Lane. He's actually the leading Victory Lane driver this weekend in senior, would you believe?
He certainly is, and he has been one on our radar all the way throughout this weekend, and he starts this one P14 on the 7th row of the grid. I am very curious to see how he does in this final, because certainly when it gets to the final, that's where the elbows really start to come out on our drivers here.
So the competitors on the front row of the grid. Eijkmans versus Goldstein. This really is the equivalent of Verstappen and Hamilton, these two. They are implacable rivals. They just happen to be from the same nation. But the Eijkmans versus Goldstein war is about to take its first breath. Eijkmans and Goldstein on the front row of the grid. Vila and McLaughlin, Atkins and Moya. Then Sam Shaw and Matthijs Meerschout. Sam Balota and Mieke Vos from Heikki Kalteren and Hugo Besson. Tudiska and Al-Fayez. Griggs and Melli from Hugo Gillard and Francois Delati. Danny Cananini and Bo Heimans. Then it is Louis Bird and Clement Outran. Bakum Weisenberger and Loritz Sasha. Sasha Batkun and Victor Louis from Fred Green and Milan Marchak. Eloy Gonzalez and Delano Valens. Then Yuta Suzuki, Andy Rattel, Adam Alazzari, Ilios Provost, Riccardo Cirelli and Santiago Ribeiro. All bets are off. It is going to be an amazing fight for the title.
And there is your championship standings again on your screen. Look how close it is. 1 point separating the top two. Joint on points for 3rd place and joint on points for 5th place. We honestly do not know how this one is going to go down, but it will go down to the wire. I guarantee you that. There is drivers looking for a chance to get in the top 3, and there are drivers fighting for that championship. Could it be Moya? Could it be Atkins? Could it be Villa? Could it be Sam Shaw? Could it be Goldstein? Could it be Eijkmans? It could be any one of them. And the two drivers who are starting on the front row this one, currently 5th and 6th, joint on the 46 points, have got the best opportunity here to try and make as many positions as possible. The start of this race is going to be vital. Getting your kart in the right position is going to be key. And for all of our drivers here, the tension could not be higher.
Without controversy, there is really only 2 drivers in the hunt for the title at this stage now. Kalai Atkins and Ruben Moya. And whoever beats the other will be the Miami Euro Series title winner. What a way to end it. An absolutely incredible showdown. But there's a showdown within a showdown, because the 2 Belgian stars, Ian Eijkmans and Ellie Goldstein, who are both as determined as the other to be the king of their nation in Miami X30, are going to go wheel to wheel. Last year, Goldstein was the champion in Miami Euro by finishing all the way down in P29 with a lot of assistance from his then teammate Sita van Meert to assist his position in that final. And Sita van Meert is here to actually cheer on the Eichmanns Grand Prix team and Ian Eichmanns, her colleague at Speedway, who are now going to battle for glory. Can Eichmanns hold on to this? Goldstein alongside, but Vila, McLaughlin, Atkins, Moya and Shaw all have a role to play in this title showdown, and it's going to be a race for the ages in Senior X30 at the home of champions, Karting Genk. Bring this race on. Eichmanns and Goldstein to the line. We're racing at Karting Genk, and it's Goldstein versus Eichmanns to the first corner, and Goldstein's got a little way in front. He's done it. Goldstein into the lead. McLaughlin trying to come around the outside to get into second. McLaughlin leads. What a start from the Irishman. He gets past Goldstein and Eichmanns, and Finn McLaughlin leads at Karting Genk. What a sensational start from the Irishman.
He's got to be careful, though, because he was off the track when he did the move.
Oh,
and there's been
big problems.
There's been a come together. A couple of the Falcons there. One of the premium cars, I think, in the background there. That could be Louis Johnson Cool involved in that one, as well as Loris Sasha.
And that's Voss.
It's Voss. Oh, it's Mika Voss. What a start to the race. I mean, the 2:17, it was looking so strong all weekend, out of it in the final.
Such a devastating end for Mika Voss, one of the stars of Senior X30 here this weekend. Absolutely came of age in the qualifying heats. That's Kalai Atkins trying to shake off Sam Balota. And here comes Kalteren. Balota's going to get his move on Atkins. Kalteren's going to go with him. This is not good news for Kalai Atkins. He's going to fall away. And with Vila and Moya in the top 5 and Atkins down to 8th, this is going to make Moya the champion. That's what it means. Up the inside comes Kalteren. He takes on Balota. Don't give up, Kalai. You've got 16 laps to go. Keep pushing, keep digging, keep looking after those tyres. This fight can come back.
It certainly could. A long way to go in this one. 17 laps, the longest race the seniors will have done all weekend. And McLaughlin, who goes a little bit defensive going into the carousel, is trying to shake the toe there from Goldstein down the inside. That is still fighting in the background there. It's Sam Shaw and Hamza Al-Fayez who are still going tooth and nail at each other here. But look at this. Goldstein's closed right in once again on McLaughlin as they go through Cafe Curve. Very, very close here. But everyone just finding that piece of tarmac to themselves. Out of turn 11, down in towards turn 12 they go. They go back onto the start-finish straight. And Eichmanns has got ahead of Goldstein into the final corner. They've swapped again, and the Belgian drivers once again going absolutely hammer to toe.
And Eichmanns is likely to finish 3rd in the championship if it stays like this. So that's why it's so important for Eichmanns to move forward. He's going to get his run on McLaughlin, and here comes Ian Eichmanns. Takes the lead. McLaughlin will get him on the undercut. Watch for Goldstein. He's going to try and get in there to the inside of Eichmanns. Here he goes. McLaughlin leads. There is Goldstein in second. Vila tried to replicate it, but couldn't.
He had to be so careful there. We've seen so many incidents come from that corner where you can just get caught up if you try and push it too hard.
Oh, look at Moya.
Moya's trying to force the objective here. He's trying to push his way through the grid there, but it's not going to work out. Villa slams the door closed on him as they go through turn 9, and he's got Eki Kalterin right on his rear bumper now as they go into turn 12. He's now alongside him, and he gets past him through turn 12, and he gains another position. Kalterin up into P5, but look at the slipstream now. Moya trying to fight back because Atkins has closed right in. His championship rival is now line astern for the championship and for position here.
This is the rivalry coming to the fore between Moya and Atkins, with Moya down to 6th and Atkins in 7th. It's going to be Moya who wins the championship unless Atkins can take him on, and that's exactly what he's going to try to do. That's your championship rival. Goldstein is now your leader from McLaughlin and Eichmanns, so they continue to squabble away. And here comes Vila. He wants more of this in 4th position. Eichmanns trying his best to get in on McLaughlin. Vila there in 4th position. They go side by side. Vila's going to try and get his bed on Eichmanns to the inside. Can't get it done. Further back, Moya still tucked in behind Kalterin with Atkins in 7th place ahead of Balota. Then it's Mirschow, Shaw, Alfayez, Besson, Utrain, Saxer and Weissenberger. And that's the move from Eichmanns to get into 2nd past McLaughlin.
Here we go. We're watching 2 separate races here. We're watching the battle for the lead, and
Atkins
we're watching the championship. battle as well. Atkins had to tuck in behind. He didn't have the momentum to get past, but now they're under pressure from the drivers behind as Balota and Machad try to get involved in this one. The two Belgians trying to push their way through in this one, but Atkins isn't going to allow it. Moya goes defensive, and again a change up in front, and Villa gets past McLaughlin. Villa now up into third place. McLaughlin is going to
Atkins
notify
going
back.
for Moya!
There it is.
Atkins takes the place away from Moya, and Balota goes with him. That's going to change the lead of the championship as Moya has to come back in on counter. And Kalai Atkins has now got 2 places in front of Ruben Moya. Surely that is going to make Kalai Atkins the champion. They're having a mother's meeting, Moya and Kalteren, as they approach the braking zone for Cafe.
Moya is pleading with Heikki Kalteren there. Please, please don't do this. Help me push up to these drivers in front. I'm fighting for a championship here.
Three wide on the straight. Vila's going to get on the inside of Goldstein. McLaughlin's going to go with it. Vila for the lead. Goes up on the curbs alongside Eichmanns, and McLaughlin will drive round them all. Goldstein going right side. Eichmanns in a second. Vila to third. Goldstein to fourth. This is the final of all finals.
This is absolutely fantastic here. Look at Vila again at the exit. Now Goldstein's going to try and come back at him here as Eichmanns just slams the door closed going into the carousel. Goldstein's going to get the switch back here if he can try and do it. Atkins has closed in on this as well. Goldstein to the inside of Villa and gets it done. Goldstein now up and Atkins to the outside. How close do you want to get? He goes side by side. He goes the long way round on Villa, and Balota goes through as well.
Kalai Atkins with the mother of all moves at turn 10. That is the move of a man who is destined to become champion. Balota will get up the inside of him and take the place away, but Atkins, full of confidence, full of adrenaline. He knows now that he can go for this, and now Eichmanns is going to get the move on Goldstein. Goldstein livid with him because they are fighting with each other, and McLaughlin is long gone.
Moya still leads the championship though at this rate. He's still leading by 1 point from Kalai Atkins. Atkins needs to gain more. There's Goldstein down the inside of Eichmanns, gets that move done once again as Machad comes into this one. Moya's falling down the order as Eichmanns goes
They've
to the left.
they've done it! They've gone off together! Goldstein and Eichmanns! I told you the Belgian war was going to bubble over, and that's exactly what's happened. Eichmanns and Goldstein, the Belgian rivals, have tangled at the carousel. It's over between the two of them.
And Goldstein was furious. Eichmann walks away saying, no, I was going to the inside and you closed the door on me. That is controversy at its finest, and both Eichmanns and Goldstein are out of this final. What does that do in terms of the championship? Because that massively helps out Ruben Moya, and it does. They're joint on points. Moya and Atkins, 77 points apiece, but because Moya out-qualified, he would be champion. This is going down to the wire.
And Atkins needs to get past Sam Balota to be champion. Ellie Goldstein is enraged.
Livid.
He's absolutely furious with Ian Eichmanns, and this argument is going to continue on the sidelines between the two of them.
Well, hopefully they keep it civil between the two of them. You don't want to see it escalate, but I'm sure they are absolutely furious.
Well, Kalai Atkins now has another chance to reel in Sam Balota. If he can get through, he'll gain the points he needs to become the champion. It really matters now. We've got a VDK 1-2. Finn McLaughlin, 2 seconds clear of Sam Balota. Now, Kalai, take a breath, breathe in, have another crack at this. As into the pits comes Mika Voss to retire, rather sadly. He joins Goldstein and Eichmanns on the sidelines. Very unfortunate after the brilliant race weekend he has had. Atkins is going for the second position, and this will make him the champion. Brilliant move from Atkins. He's going into second position. If he stays there, he will be the champion.
But he needs to maintain it. He needs to maintain this spot here. If he can't defend it, he may struggle as Heikki Kalteren dives to the inside there as well, gets that move done and moves past Balota. Now Balota's got to think, what am I going to do here? I've got to try and push back forward as well. And what does Ruben Moya think as well? Because he's right there. If these two start scrapping, Moya's going to get through. And if Moya can be right behind Atkins, it's still not over.
Both drivers deserve this fairy tale. It's so tough to tell who's going to get it. Kalai Atkins, the man who came as a novice, starting at the back of grids, barely making it into finals, struggling to get the authority. Now he has worked, he has grinded, he has developed, and he is a race winner and a potential champion in waiting. And then there's his opponent, Ruben Moya, the man who has been in this paddock since the beginning, 2016. He has seen everything, he has done everything, he has managed everything, except becoming a champion. He won the Winter Cup this year to start the ball rolling for Pantano. Can he return back up? Yes, he goes on the inside of Sambalota. That will give him a couple more points. If he can keep this bandwagon flowing, Ruben Moya can steal the championship back again.
He certainly could. This is still far from over. 17 laps this race is. We're on lap 10. There is still 7 to go after this one. A long time in racing respects as Moya still pushes that car right to its limits as they go through Cafe Curve. Balota still there. Now Balota's still got an incentive here to gain positions. He wants to be the Belgian on the podium here in Belgium at Karting Genk, because at the moment it would be Ireland, the UK and the Netherlands on the podium, and Balota will not want that at all.
Moya is just 2 points back from Atkins. If he can get past Calderon, he'll be back in the lead of the championship by my maths. So this is a big one. Even if Atkins beats Moya, getting ahead of Calderon should be enough, and he goes for it. Now, by my maths, that should be enough for Ruben Moya. 3rd position behind McLaughlin and Atkins should be enough on countback with the drop scores applied for Ruben Moya to become champion. We'll have to wait for confirmation.
We will have to wait as they make their way round another retirement.
Oh, that's Melli.
Yeah, Melli Angelo into the pit lane, and that is race over there. But eyes back on this one because it's not finished yet. Ladies and gentlemen, the championship fight still very close as they make their way into the final corner. When they break the timing beam, we'll know on the points. Here's the replay, and look at this. Eichmann's just went to the inside. Goldstein closed the door, and, well, I've got to say, I don't know. That is a big hit, and hopefully they are both okay. But, I mean, Goldstein furious, Eichmann's walking away from the situation, and Goldstein just left speechless.
Well, who is that, basically? Is that Eichmann's pushing him off, or is that Goldstein taking a middle-of-the-road approach? You can see how this has all got... Well, how about that? Is that sarcastic, or is that settling the differences?
Well,
I would imagine it's the first.
Yeah, I suspect it's tense down there. I wouldn't want to be one of the marshals down there, I tell you that. Well, there we go. There's Atkins, and now what's this done with the points? It has affected it with Ruben Moya there in 3rd place. He leads the championship standings by 1 point, 82 from Atkins, 81, as Sam Shaw sees a warning flag.
And that's 5 seconds.
Absolute disaster. 5 seconds will be added to his time. He's currently a little further down the order. He's P9 at the moment, but it will drop even further. These two here have the chance to stop this championship going the way of Ruben Moya if it does go the way of Atkins. But at the moment, this is looking like Moya's race. There's a lot of damage to that cut there that's come in. Who's that? It's
Hamza Al-Fayez. Oh, what an amazing weekend it has been for the young Jordanian. He has really shown his class all weekend long. For me, he was the star of Senior X30 here at Karting Genk as Mattis Michaud gets his move on the inside of Sambalota with Eduardo Vila trying to close them down again. You really got a feel for Hamza Al-Fayez. He has found it such incredible going this weekend. The final was his undoing, but what a star Hamza Al-Fayez of Jordan has turned out to be.
Ruben Moya has latched onto the back of Calais Atkins out of the commentary box window. There's McLaughlin. Wait for it. There they are. 2nd and 3rd. 1st and 2nd in the championship. Moya doesn't just want to beat him on points, he wants to beat him on track as well, and he is going for it here. He's right on that rear bumper of Atkins. Atkins now checking left, right, over the shoulder, where to position the kart. He goes defensive into turn 6. Moya will have the run. He's going to try and hold it around the outside. Atkins slams the door. Now Atkins could still be unsportsmanlike, and I don't think Atkins would do it, but I reckon Atkins could, for a championship, try and back Moya up into the drives behind, and he's done just that, because Heikki Kalterin has closed in now, and this is going to be right to the wire now. We thought it was over, but this is far from done yet, ladies and gents.
Atkins doesn't need to push Ruben Moya off the road. He just needs to back him into the pack so that they can take the move. Here goes Moya, diving in on Atkins, and he's got him. Ruben Moya makes the move on Atkins. He's gone off. He's gone off in the final turn. Ruben Moya gets taken out at the final corner. I cannot believe it.
Oh, and it wasn't even with his championship rival either.
That was Kalterin. Kalterin was making the diving move, and Ruben Moya is off the road of the final turn. He gets going, but he is down in 22nd. Calais Atkins, if he could just keep going, he's going to be champion.
Right, well, where is Atkins right now? He's P5. He's down in the order right now, and this is the battle for second place now. This is the battle for the podium. We could still have a Belgium on the podium here at this race. Heikki Kaltonen, who's in second place, is trying to fight through, but where has all this come from? This has been the most breathtaking final to any championship I've ever commentated on. This is karting at its finest.
Finn McLaughlin has a lead so big now that he could get a front fairing penalty and still win the final.
Yeah,
absolutely astonishing as Atkins gets the move on Danny Carinini as one potential champion passes a Hall of Famer. Winner of the IWF in 21, Carinini trying his luck again. Let's have a look at it. Now, Atkins defends Moya. He covers the inside line. Nothing illegal with that at all. Moya gets a beautiful move, but again, it's similar to Bartels. He dives in up the inside, makes the move. Now watch Kaltonen in the 2-1-6. He gets his chance. He gets a look, slices up the inside, bang! Misses his breaking point into Moya.
Yeah, but Moya just does a quick direction change just into the corner to try and... He realised that I'd left the gap open here. I've got to close the door. And by that time, Kaltonen was already trying to go down the inside of it.
Well, what a way for this championship final to unravel. It's still not done as Balota now thinking about the move on Eduardo Vila. And look at this, another incident, 4 wide at Cafe as Bo Hymans gets spat out to the grass. Somehow he gets back on the road again. And there's Ruben Moya, look, desperately trying to cannon his way back up the field, picking him off like raisins. Final lap begins. Vila tucked in behind Sam Balota and Heikki Kaltonen. Vila coming round the outside. Vila might be in third position in the championship here, could even get to second to salvage something for the TB Kart squad. Vila absolutely charging as Balota gets hung out to dry. Atkins gets up in a 5th place, and that is the potential champion.
Are we going to have a Belgium on the podium here? And at the moment, it looks like it could be Balota, but right now, oh no, he's dropped back now, hasn't he? Yeah, he has, so it's no Belgium on the podium. McLaughlin, though, leading this one, but Kaltonen still there.
Finn McLaughlin is about to potentially win this one by enough that he could get a driving standards flag and a front fairing and win it. Here comes McLaughlin over the line. Finn McLaughlin will take the victory in fantastic fashion up front. Amazing result for Finn McLaughlin. Wait for it. Kaltonen is going to come through for second. He's happy with that. Sam Balota is going to be down the order. Kalai Atkins has done it on the main straight. He celebrates. Kalai Atkins knows that it doesn't matter anymore. By 4 points to Eduardo Vila and 5 points to Ruben Moya. Kalai Atkins has been absolutely incredible. From the back of the grids in previous years, storming his way through, the Croc Promotion superstar is the new Miami Euro Series winner and Senior X30 in 2023. Can you believe the way this has played out?
That, honestly, couldn't have gone any better for Atkins. I mean, for so many drivers, that was a devastating race, but for many more, that was their best race they've ever had. And for us here and the viewers, probably the most exciting end to a championship you've ever seen.
Atkins points to the Jamaican flag on the top of his helmet. It's such a shame we cannot have the Jamaican anthem or flag on the podium because he represents Britain. But Finn McLaughlin wins by 11.3 seconds to Kaltonen and Vila. And my prediction is this isn't quite going to be the finishing positions we've got. Shaw in 4th, Atkins in 5th. If it stays like that, he is the champion ahead of Weisenberger from 23rd on the grid to P6, Danny Carinini from 19th on the grid to 7th, then Balota, Utran, Tudiska and Gonzalez. Meerschout in 12th. The final points go the way of Hugo Besson, Luca Griggs and Bo Hymans. So unfortunate, but Ruben Moya drops to the back of the entire field on the last lap. He drops to 31st. He doesn't score a single point from this final, and that means he actually falls to 3rd in the standings. The celebrations go on for Finn McLaughlin, though. The Irishman has stormed his way forward to 4th in the standings with an amazing victory. But this man, Kalai Atkins, the party starts here for the Croc Promotion superstar. There are so many joyous scenes to come. Just as we saw for Gabriel Stilp in the IWF 2 years running, now the latest Croc Promotion superstar is Kalai Atkins. What an amazing story. That's a proper karting fairy tale.
It really is, and he's very lucky as well because the team told me that they actually had a bet. If he'd lost the championship, he'd have to turn that hairdo into an afro by the time at the end of the season. But he's got away with that one. He can keep his hairstyle, and Calais Atkins won that race, or won that championship in style.
If you'd have said to Calais Atkins 2 years ago, mate, you are going to be the Miami Euro Series title winner, he would have laughed in your face. Not only has he done that, but he's done it in the toughest, roughest, most ruthless, most brutal Senior X30 final you are ever going to see.
He really did, and I think now it's going to sink in at some point. I can imagine. You can see he's been fist pumping the air all the way throughout. He is delighted with it, but I don't think it's fully sunk in yet.
No, indeed. The Miami Euro Series, promoted by RGMMC, cooking up the most fever pitch, sizzling, most enthralling, most irresistible final you've ever seen to a karting title, probably anywhere in the world.
Definitely so. And some of the highlights from that, and take a seat, ladies and gents, because there are many highlights from this one. What a roller coaster of a race on this one. The start was electric. So many drivers involved. There was that big moment. We lost a couple of drivers. Mika Voss, one of them as well, who later retired in that one. They came back and nearly onto the opposite side of the circuit, which would have been a very nasty moment. There, though, you saw drivers making the moves. Belota coming through, Heikki Kaltering coming through. Atkins, it looked like the race was over before it had started. You can see there around the bottom right, got Dan still coming in to congratulate his driver. And again, what a championship that they've had. But again, so much can be said about the Senior X30 class this year. Controversies, champions, brilliant races, and the biggest thing from this one probably would have been the battle from Eichmanns and Goldstein. And at this point here, when McLaughlin took the lead of the race, this is where it started to really cook up between the two Belgians.
Absolutely. McLaughlin seeking his moment, Goldstein sliding in to take second place. It was all looking good at this point. Wieland nearly taking it away from Eichmanns. But then who would have thought the controversy of controversies was to come? Ruben Moya losing positions, but also gaining them through with Calais Atkins, his rival, in tow. But then came the moment that the race really took shape. Eichmann's getting through on McLaughlin and thinking, right, I can go after my Belgian rival, Ellie Goldstein, and Ian Eichmanns then went to task and went to battle. Here it is, Eichmanns making his bid on Goldstein. As they dueled away, Atkins making the move on Moya. That was the moment when Atkins really felt, I think, he could win this title. It wasn't done yet by any means, but that was the moment when he really got his opportunity. And then comes the moment that I don't think anybody in Belgium is ever going to forget. This three-way fight, Wieland getting through on the inside of Goldstein, tagging in behind, McLaughlin fighting his corner, Wieland then diving up the inside. He and Eichmanns go wide. There's McLaughlin getting the lead. He would never lose that again, by the way, in this race. And then Goldstein popping up around the outside of his teammate Wieland. And then Moya getting into the wars with Alessandro Tedesco as well. You've got to feel for Ruben Moya, so nearly the champion here today. Yeah. Amazing performance from him all season long. But then, well, I genuinely thought about this as a funny idea. What if Eichmanns and Goldstein were to get into the wars? What if they were to have a moment, the two of them, out on the course? I never genuinely thought it was actually going to happen, but it did. As they came down the back straight, the two of them, Goldstein sizing up the moment, Eichmanns protecting that inside line. It was all about to kick off. Belota getting his run on Calais Atkins, Goldstein and Eichmanns swapping places, left, right, and center. And then here's the moment Eichmanns really started to get under Goldstein's skin. This was the penultimate move, I think. Getting through in a second position, getting the move done. But Goldstein wasn't having that, and Eichmanns wasn't going to play second fiddle. Goldstein moves across on Eichmanns, the back end steps out. They just tangle wheels. That's all it was. Racing incident, but the two of them collide. It couldn't have been any more controversial if you tried.
It really couldn't, and I'm sure that will go down in history. In a final, the two Belgians in Belgium fighting for a championship.
The aggressive adrenaline run, the sarcasm between the two of them as well.
And I think the disbelief as well. The disbelief on Goldstein. Clearly not happy. I mean, what can you say? That says 1,000 words. That does, it really does.
Well, Goldstein is a very emotional man at the best of times, and I'm afraid that really says it all. Ruben Moya throwing it up the inside of karts, wrestling himself into a championship winning position. Kalai Atkins having to pick them off one by one to move his way forward up to second past Belota. That was the championship winning move at that point for Atkins. But Moya, look at him, just full of discipline, full of dictatorial aggression, but no aggressive moves that caused incidents for Ruben Moya, just asserting himself in the title fight. But then Kalterin, still very strong in this one, getting his move on Belota. That was the critical pinch moment, because then comes the ultimate dice for the title. Here it is, Atkins in second, Moya in third. Moya pulls out the move of the century with everything on the line, dives in on Atkins. Atkins tries his best to hold him, it doesn't work. Moya gets through, Kalterin gets through, then Kalterin misses his breaking point, bang, into the back of Moya, just pips him up in the air, and Moya goes into the barrier. Game over.
You just couldn't believe, you couldn't write it, could you? You couldn't write it. Everyone who was involved in that championship just coming to blows out in circuit. It is what it is.
Yeah, you take this to a Hollywood producer, they're going to take one look at this script and go, ridiculous. They're going to throw it in the bin. It's not even believable.
Netflix series, anyone?
It has to happen. You can't write it. It actually has to happen. Look at this, 4 wide drivers battling. Eloy Gonzalez picking up some amazing momentum in that little one. But what a race, what a final, what a championship, what a showdown, what a series. And Finn McLaughlin cannons his way to the victory by so far. He could have got a loose front fairing and a warning flag and still had 1.3 seconds on everybody.
He passes the shot and we haven't even got second place coming into the back of shot. That's how far he won it by. We nearly missed him go across the line as well.
But there is potentially, certainly provisionally, your champion in the Miami Euro Series Senior X30, the boy from Jamaica, based in London nowadays, the crop promotion megastar. He's gone from also ran novice to king of the hill. What an amazing turnaround.
We've waited a long time for the Republic of Ireland national anthem, and boy, does it sound good. We invite Kern Lemons of Karting Gang to present the trophies to our top 3 drivers, starting for Italy and Tibi Kart, Eduardo Villa. And secondly, for the Netherlands and RSD Karting, Henke Kalterin. And to our race winner for the Republic of Ireland and VDK Racing, Finn McLaughlin. And finally, to our winning team manager for VDK Racing, Alex Button. What a fabulous end to the Senior X30 season here at Karting Gang. As our 3 drivers raise their trophies aloft, we will invite them onto the top step of the podium together for the winning shot. Alex Batten taking his place with the 3 winning drivers. Ladies and gentlemen, what a podium to end the Miami Euro Series season. Eduardo Villa, Henke Kalterin, and your race winner, Finn McLaughlin. So one more time with feeling on the Karting Gang podium, it's time for our Senior X30 drivers to get busy with the fizzy. They were ready for Finn McLaughlin. They had a bottle of their own prepared. Oh well, it was worth it, Finn. It was worth it. An amazing end to a fabulous, fabulous race weekend. Let's get up onto the podium and have a word. At last, after so many near misses, Finn McLaughlin, 11.3 seconds clear at the flag. That's a result sheet you're going to frame when you get home. Talk us through the emotions after such an exciting weekend.
Yeah, it feels really good. It's took a long time to get here, so we worked hard all week to get to this position, so it feels really good.
And of course, that really sets you up for a fantastic end to the season. More great races to come, but you're going to be back now that you have established yourself as a winner in the Euro Series.
Yeah, it feels good to have a win in my bag, so there's more to come in the rest of the season.
We can't wait to see it. Ladies and gentlemen, your race winner here at Karting Gang, Finn McLaughlin! Ronan Geidel of our GMMC Group will present the top 3 drivers their trophies after an immense season of racing, starting with our driver in 3rd position, representing Spain and the Pantano Racing Team, Ruben Moya. And to our 2nd place competitor, for Italy and the TB kart racing team, Eduardo Villa. But after such an amazing journey, your Miami Euro Series Senior X30 title winner for Great Britain and Croc Promotions, Kalai Atkins! What a story, what a journey, what an amazing young competitor. All three drivers deserve their place on the Miami Euro Series roster for 2023. They can go together now on the top step of the podium. An amazing end to a fabulous season. The Spaniard, the Italian, and the British Jamaican. Ladies and gentlemen, Ruben Moya, Eduardo Villa, and your new winner of the title, Kalai Atkins. And for the very last time here this weekend, after what's been such an incredible final round of the Miami Euro Series, the competitors get to soak up the spoils and celebrate in fashion here at Karting Genk. Ladies and gentlemen, let's celebrate in style as Kalai Atkins gets busy with a fizzy! Dan Stilp, of course, getting the mother of all soakings, but so too does Kalai Atkins from within his own team. Absolutely sensational. I'm going to go up and get the final word of the weekend with the Senior X30 winner. Kalai, wow, mate, wow. When we first met a few years ago, you'd have bitten my hand off to be called the title winner in Senior X30, and here you are living it as reality. How are you feeling?
I'm lost for words, to be honest, you know. Just can't thank everyone enough, you know. Croc Promotion, Grice, my mechanic Niels, my dad, my mum, everyone that's supporting me, Andrew Salis, and massive thanks to Henke for helping me out there. That was great. Yeah.
I tell you what, mate, not only do you get this amazing accolade for Britain and for Jamaica, now you're going to the Miami Warrior Finals, baby. You can make the double.
Yeah, I'm hoping for that. Can't wait.
Ladies and gentlemen, your new winner in Senior X30, Kalai Atkins!